Hello, hello, Facebook family. All right, we are getting ready here. I'm going live in a couple of the groups that I run. So just getting everything queued up. A big, super fun announcement for me is that I've created a new Facebook group. It's called Extraordinary Love Relationship Coaching for Conscious Women. And it's a super sweet community that is for women only, for conscious women. So I invite you all to come over. I'm going to be phasing my other groups out and going over there. Welcome, Instagram. Hi, hey, Instagram. All right, so I'm queuing up Facebook here. So as I was saying, I was starting a new, let's just get everything online here and then I'll give my fun announcement. So a super fun announcement is I've started a new Facebook group. It's called Extraordinary Love Relationship Coaching for Conscious Women. And it's exclusively designed to be a really sweet sanctuary for conscious women, where I'll be doing monthly Q&As. So this is our inaugural Q&A. And I'm going to be broadcasting live in a few of my groups right now, but my intention over the next month or so is to close down my other groups. So we will only be in the super sweet, energized, sacred space of Extraordinary Love Relationship Coaching for Conscious Women. Again, it's a beautiful Facebook group that I'm creating. We're all starting to come together. So I invite you to hop on over, where you'll have access to special content that won't be public to other people, where I'll be scooping you in on inside regular Q&As, how-tos, how to communicate with a man, how to win with a man, what to do during a meltdown with a man, how to really handle difficult times, what to do when you hit snags in your relationship, how to call in the love of your life. Like I've got a beautiful, juicy menu lined up for you. So like I said, welcome, come over. Muriel, hi Muriel. Aw, so good to see you. Hello, beautiful lady. All right, so I think we are good to go. I am all queued up here. So welcome, welcome, welcome. This is a live stream that I'm doing that is called Why You Should Run from Chemistry and Connection When You Are Dating for Your Mate to Be in Relationship. So because of my incredible enthusiasm and love for being here with you all, and I just had a little bit of a tech glitch. Let me see if this, I'm gonna bear with me just one moment here. And it looks like something. So anyway, so this was inspired by, I'm in the middle of my Foundations of Extraordinary Love group right now, which is my 8-week program. It's a breakthrough approach for conscious women that are completely committed to creating the love of their life, and especially that really are looking to transform their relationship paradigm. What's a relationship paradigm? It's basically the lens we look at relationship through. It's the meaning we give to relationship. It's the definition we give to relationship. It's how we show up inside of relationship. It's our unconscious beliefs about relationship. And we have this relationship paradigm that has been largely informed by our history. And we don't even recognize where we're running on automatic, because our history is just taking outdated, it's cueing our subconscious, which is influencing who we're picking, who we're dating, how we have repetitive difficulties in our partnerships with our existing relationships if we're in a relationship. And the more that we really transform our relationship paradigm, it gives us freedom, right? Like, because if we are invisibly bound by these old scripts that we're not even sure or aware that we're following, that have us say that we should lose ourselves in love, or men can't be trusted, or there are no good men, or men will always betray me or hurt me or leave me, or women aren't powerful in relationship, or women are the dominant ones in relationship. Whatever it is, if we have these old scripts that are running us, it's going to create a lot of pain. It's going to create a lot of challenge. It's going to create a lot of pain. It's going to create a lot of disturbance. So what we want to do is really look at how we can update our relationship paradigm so it matches who we are today, the conscious, self-aware, successful, phenomenal woman that we are today, so that way our relationships can be a mirror for who we are today, not what our past taught us to be. So as I was saying, one of my beautiful participants of my existing 8-week online program, Foundations of Extraordinary Love, asked this phenomenal question, where she was like, and I want to cue it up here so that way I have it in front of me, and it looks like Mercury in retrograde is giving me a run for my money right now, because for some reason Google Drive just is not opening where I copied over her question. So I'm just going to riff it here. So basically what she had asked about why is it, like, she just recently was breaking up. She got out of a relationship. In this relationship, there was a lot of connection. There was a lot of chemistry. The first time they met, it was a very intense, charged experience. And she considers the relationship a phenomenal blessing. They broke up. And what she's finding, they broke up for really, healthy reasons. But what she's finding, and what her question is as she's been dating, she's looking for that instantaneous charge. She's looking for that instantaneous chemistry. And what we've been working on in terms of the group, and I had mentioned this in one of our calls, which is what she had asked me to elaborate further on, which is why I'm here with you, is why is it dangerous when we date based on looking for connection and chemistry? So that's what I'm going to be talking about here today. So whether you are single and you're dating to meet the love of your life, whether you feel really confused by this sort of fairy tale that we've all been taught of in terms of love at first sight, like you'll just know when you meet him, whatever it is for you, whether you keep getting hooked, right? Like you keep getting attached to men that aren't good for you, you keep getting hooked into like the hot sex or the hot attraction, but something inside is fundamentally unstable, or like you just don't feel at ease. Like this is what we're talking about, because we recognize that while chemistry, it is a beautiful thing that has kept our, species surviving. Like it's kept the evolutionary process happening. For millennia, we've used chemistry, like we're neurobiologically wired to have a chemical attraction with someone. That's how our species has been, has really procreated and gotten us to where we are today in the 21st century. But our world is changing. Like it is not the same as it was 100 years ago, even 50 years ago, let alone 1,000, 10,000 years ago. And beyond that, our relationship model is changing. No longer are we just looking to mate just simply for survival or security needs, or just to mate and to have offspring. No longer is what maybe was satisfying for our parents, maybe our grandparents. That's not satisfying for us. Like we want more. We want more than just somebody to like be a companion with. We want more than somebody just to sit with at the dinner table. We actually want, those of us that are drawn to this path of relationship as a vehicle for our spiritual awakening, like we want loving relationship that where two or more are gathered, where it catalyzes our greatness and where we can rest into the sanctuary of the loving, where we know that when we go out in the world, we shine our light in the world, but then when we get home at night, we are met by the beloved embrace of our partner who sees us, who adores us, who champions us, who cherishes us, and where our emotional energy is no longer spun out in drama, in suffering, in feeling disconnected. So our relationship model's changing. We're no longer mating for procreation alone. Like there's this feeling arising where we want to know more of who we are, and knowing that we can't access certain parts of ourselves on our own. And there's something phenomenal that happens when we're backed up by a good man. Yet we are neurobiologically wired to get hooked by chemistry. I mean, even think of it, it's chemistry. It's chemicals. They're biochemicals that affect our ability to see clearly. Like we get intoxicated. Beyonce's Drunk in Love song, like they're like, it's true. Like we get drunk in love. And the danger of when we date solely for chemistry, when we're solely looking for that instant connection, the danger is it has us bypass our red flags. The danger is it has us adapt ourselves, pretzel ourselves, become half versions of ourselves. Like if it's so hot, we want that, right? Like it's a drug. It's so hot. We feel so connected. And it's like we're face to face gazing at each other. It's super intense. And we don't want to mess it up. We want the fix, right? Like we want the hit. And so the danger of dating, I call it danger zone dating. The danger of dating using chemistry as our vetting process is it has us adapt ourselves. It has us do things that really aren't necessarily in alignment with who we know ourselves to be on the deepest level. I was in a profoundly intense chemistry-based relationship before I met Nicholas, and our values were radically different. Like I have a very rich relationship with God and my spiritual path, and he was a born-again Christian, which is beautiful. However, the way he related to it was rules, sin-based, damnation. He was certain that because we were having sex that we were going to go to hell. And his God was a very punitive God, and my God's a very loving God. So I knew that there's no way that we were walking in the same direction. I knew that I could not, give myself over as a loving partner or lifelong wife to somebody whose viewpoint, whose perspective of life and God was so radically different than mine. Yet, because the chemistry was so hot, I watched myself become like this half version of myself in the relationship. I would hold back my truth. How many of you can relate here, right? Like I would hold back my truth. I would adapt myself because I didn't want to rock the boat. So I would just go along with it, even though inside of me, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so not for me. So the dangers of chemistry, the dangers of dating just for chemistry is, and this is what we want to look for, because I'm not saying chemistry is bad. However, if we find ourselves pretzeling ourselves, adapting around them, withholding our truth, bypassing red flags, saying and doing things or tolerating things that we know are not in our highest good, if we're only myopically looking at the person, him in front of us, instead of looking at, like, are we walking the same path? So instead of being fixated on each other, drunk in love with each other, are we walking hand in hand along the same path, looking at the same direction, a direction of extraordinary love? Are we committed to similar things? Do we share values? Are we compatible? Is it easy to be together? So this is what we want to start looking for, because it's not bad or wrong to get hooked by chemistry. Again, like it is woven into our precious brain. And we want to call forward conscious choice. We want to call forward our ability to examine ourselves and look at, okay, if I'm getting hooked by chemistry, what's the fallout? Because usually there's some level of emotional hangover. It might be that we feel like there's some sense of like, we don't really know what we're doing here. It's really hot, but I don't really know where this relationship's going. Maybe the fallout is that we don't feel safe to express our deeper needs or wants. Maybe the fallout is that we feel really vulnerable, but we don't really feel like there's a space for vulnerability. Maybe the fallout is that we withhold important conversations or things that we really need to express. So the wisdom comes in recognizing that if there's hot chemistry, am I holding myself back? Am I dumbing myself down? Am I only representing a part of myself? Am I uneasy? Is my belly relaxed or is my belly tight? Do I feel like I can inhabit myself, or am I on the edge of my skin, trying to be the most attractive, appealing, sexy, smart, funny, irresistible woman, so that way the fix doesn't go away. He doesn't go away and then have this with someone else. Am I like what's the saying? Like, am I out of control jealous? Like, do I feel incredibly jealous and insecure? These are all things that tell us we may be in danger zone dating. So the wisdom comes in really looking at, am I looking at the big picture? Can I be myself? Am I relaxed? Do I like who I become in his presence? And the challenge here, and back to the beautiful participant in my program that asked, so this is the monthly Q&A that I'm going to be doing in the new members only area of my Extraordinary Love Facebook group that I mentioned at the beginning of this. I started a new Facebook group that is exclusively it's a members only, private, for conscious women, where I'll be doing regular monthly Q&As where you get to bring forward your greatest dating and relating inquiries. I'll be sharing fresh content that nobody else gets. It's a really beautiful sanctuary to come together as women and to be able to, ask our questions. And I'm here to provide as many tools or tricks that I can to really support you. So back to the question, what brought me here, that Bhavana asked, she's dating, right? So she's newly dating. She went through this breakup. She's newly dating, and she's wondering, like, she's dating these men and she's not feeling that instant connection. So what we also have to remember is sometimes that instant connection that we call chemistry, it's also because we have a karma with that person. Like, that person's an important player in our life that is here to open us to something, to show us something, to teach us something, where there may be some inherent thing that we were meant to learn as a result of being together. Not to say that we're meant to be in primary partnership, but there's a saying that one of my, Michael Hayes, who is a beautiful person that I work with in terms of more like energetic clearings, and he's just a phenomenal, he has a phenomenal access to spiritual sight. And so he talks about it's karma that attracts, right? Karma attracts. Karma is what makes it really compelling when we meet someone. And it's karma that shows us that we have an opportunity to work something out. So working something out doesn't mean that we're supposed to be in a lifelong relationship. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So to that point, if we're looking for that instant connection, it may be that maybe there's just not, maybe it's not fated. We're not fated to be mated with this person. So chemistry can show up through the strong sexual urge. It can show up showing us where there's someone that maybe there's a lesson, there's a gift that they're bringing to us. It might be an uncomfortable gift, but there's a gift that they're bringing to us. And so instead, what we want to look for, back to her question, is we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I think, did I say that right? And that's a horrible saying, by the way. Horrible saying. So we don't want to cut out too soon. If the person that we're newly dating, and you are dating to meet your mate, we want to be looking for if the person matches, like your values are compatible, if the person is easy to be around, if you communicate easily, if it's easy for you to be yourself, because that level of deep, enduring attraction, that grows. The love grows the more that there's a strong foundation that we're walking together. So just because there's not an immediate spark off the bat does not mean it's time to throw it out. So instead, the things that you want to look for, as I was saying, am I relaxed? Do I feel at ease with this person? These are the cues that will tell you if it's healthy or if you're in danger zone dating. So I'd love to hear in the comments what you got out of this, where you see yourself on the fence. I'm going to be wrapping this up here, so I'm just checking to see if we've got any questions. So again, two invitations here if you want to stay part of this conversation. One, join me in my new private Facebook group, which is a phenomenal resource center for women, exclusively women. It's called Extraordinary Love Relationship Coaching for Conscious Women, where I'm going to be shutting down my other groups in the next month or so, and will only be in this Facebook group. So join the juicy conversation. So that's one way to stay connected, to learn more, and you'll get immediate access to any of my new offers, my new programs, my new material. We'll have monthly Q&A calls, just like we had tonight, where I'll be answering whatever your hottest or most compelling question is having to do with dating or relating. We'll be doing a lot of community engagement, community support. So that's one way to stay connected. Another way to stay connected is, and this is very exciting to me, then we are announcing the dates for my next 8-week Foundations of Extraordinary Love program, which we are about to be wrapping up now. We're in week 7 now of this current summer session. So October, we've decided on the dates in October. So we're going to be starting to do early bird enrollment into my next Foundations of Extraordinary Love 8-week program, which is based on my breakthrough approach for successful, smart, confident, self-aware women that are truly committed to experiencing extraordinary love. So I invite you into that if you feel called to really go through a proven practice that I've spent 15 years finessing, that thousands of women, I've taken thousands of hours of research with women over the years to really create this phenomenal curriculum that's designed in 8 weeks to transform your relationship model, your relationship paradigm. So I invite you to get on the wait list if you want to stay connected that way. And in the meantime, lovely to be here with you all. And I hope you have a beautiful Wednesday evening, and bye-bye.